Bobby? Water sucks. Gatorade is better.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your Commish with another Gatorade Fantasy Football Podcast update. Are y'all ready? All right, let's go get it.
Watch where you're going, needle dick.
All right, everybody, what's up? We have our draft grades today. The new podcast out. Look at this video. Next time, we're actually gonna invest in a camera, so you can see me in my fucking 1080p glory. We'll probably get some better lighting too, or move the lights in a way where we don't look all. Can you see TJ? Reg, no, I'm kidding, guys. That's not funny. But we also, if you look on the website or your app or whatever, you'll see that the divisions have been realigned. We ended up doing 4 divisions with 3 teams each. That makes it you play everybody once, which is 9 games or 11 games when you play everybody once, and you play your division mates 2 times, which brings it up to 13 games, which is all our weeks, and then 14 through 16 is playoffs. That way you build your little rivalries throughout the year and everything because you play each other twice. It makes divisions matter. The way they were before, it was like you play your division mates twice, so that's 10 games off the bat because you have 5 other division mates, and then you have 3 more games to play 5 different people. So there's a way that you don't play certain teams once at all. It was like a messed up way to do it, and we thought about going like no divisions where it's everybody just free for all, but I think this is the fairest way to play everybody at least once and like have divisions and rivalries. So we came up with a couple new division names. They are just as stupid as the first 2, but you guys are gonna have to deal with it. Anyways, yeah. Let's move on to the grades. Let's scroll up. We gotta go check this out. All right. We didn't do this any particular order. Like, it's not because of like the grade you got or anything like that. We did it off the draft order, and we did like Mikal 5th, even though he's like 10th, but he traded for the 5th pick. So everything here is by our opinions. We went through everyone's roster before and after the trades and pickups that you guys have done. We went through the way your team makeup is, and just we kind of took everything into account. So starting off was me because I was the first pick. And go ahead, you can tell them.
Well, we all know how Manny's draft went, so we gave Manny an A.
So many good players. Fuck.
Well, he took DJ number 1, even though Le'Veon was still there. He was a little skeptical on Le'Veon because of his little holdout and stuff. And look at that, it ended up working out. So everything's
not
going
in my other league.
Everything was going Manny's way. But
Yeah.
even with Le'Veon going down, I think DJ is still in the running for like top scoring overall.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do well. Like his when he was number 1, he was higher than when Todd Gurley was number 1 last year. I think taking a risk on Shady in the second pick with the second round was cool, especially even though I flipped him, but I was scared to take him. I honestly was not willing to. I talked about it with some of you guys. I was not willing to like take him until maybe like the 6th or 7th round, but I didn't have any picks then, so I know taking him was gonna have to be earlier. But all signs were pointing towards him actually playing this year because nothing's going on. So that's why I took the plunge.
Anything about Le'Shawn's
and
Jarvis Landry.
Oh, Jarvis Landry in the 3rd. He was the first pick in the 3rd, so it was like early 3rd. But I guess
thought that was really late. It was really good value for Jarvis Landry.
I probably should have taken Demarius over him. When I realized I picked Demarius, I realized Golden Tate was still on the board, and I should have picked Golden Tate. And then he got picked up right after me, and then I picked up Landry. And I'm still happy with the turnout, but Golden Tate was like somebody that I was actually targeting, but I panicked because somebody got picked up like a couple picks before Demarius, and threw me off. Next, we have Fred. Right after the draft, we decided to give him a B plus, and after like the whole Lev Bell thing, his roster looks like a C at this point, and it's not his fault. Hindsight is 2020, but it hurts that he's sitting out.
Yeah, with Lev Bell, his roster is pretty much built around Lev Bell because he took Mark Ingram, and Ingram was suspended for 4 games, so he was gonna have Lev Bell and Derrick Henry as his 2 running backs. But with that, he only has Derrick Henry,
who's splitting time
with Deion Lewis.
He's lucky he has Jordan Howard and
Jordan Howard.
AJ Green and DeAndre Hopkins, but like Lev Bell really gave that team a lot of oomph. But like losing him and your 2 replacements for him, one of them's in like close to maybe a 60-40 or 50-50 timeshare, and the other one is only playing 1 game in the first 6 weeks. It really hurts because like Ingram's probably not going to help while Lev Bell is out because Lev Bell could come back soon.
Yeah, we don't know how long he's going to be.
We have no clue.
He's probably going to miss the first game. Most likely. It's like 90%.
Yeah, he could show up. He could show up on Sunday and say like, "Guys, I'm ready," and he's like, "Oh, well, you are better than James Conner." But one interesting also like Fred actually went like the Reggie route and got 3 rookie wide receivers with DJ Moore, Michael Gallup, and Anthony Miller. Like Moore is nice, Gallup could be nice, and Anthony Miller's a stupid homer pick. The Bears.
Moore is behind Funchess. Funchess isn't all that good, so we think Moore could possibly be number 1. Gallup, that whole receiving core is like a little iffy, so we don't know who's there.
Yeah.
So Gallup could be really a good upside.
Anthony Miller's not bad. I'm just giving you shit, Fred, because I hate you.
Fuck the Bears.
Next, we have TJ, and TJ got a P for potential. TJ's keepers, like they really did not show him much over the preseason. Ajayi stayed out the whole time. Juju could actually be good because of he could be good for poised for a good year, especially while Bell is out, because he becomes the second option behind Antonio Brown. He also got Allen Robinson, who has the talent, but we don't know exactly how he's going to be.
He didn't play at all preseason. We haven't seen anything from him for, about almost a full year?
A little bit more, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, almost a full year, actually. So, it's a lot of potential. He has rookie running backs galore. Saquon Barkley, Sony Michel, Jordan Wilkins. Anything that has to do with drafting a lot of rookies is like called pulling a Reggie, because he did it last year. It worked out for him last year. But I've never seen someone pick so many rookies and it work out so well. Trey Boo Boo. TJ got my fucking tight end that I wanted. I think he's gonna be good. He was Delaney Walker. He was just like Delaney Walker when Delaney Walker was in San Francisco behind Vernon Davis. It's the same way Trey Burton was behind Zach Ertz in Philadelphia. He was this shorter tight end that was super athletic and was strong and fast and could play like fullback, tight end, like slot receiver. He just did it all for them, and he was an amazing blocker, and that's what Trey Boo Boo is. And he's moving to an offense that really uses the tight end with Matt Nagy, so I think he can be good. I mean, Trey Boo Boo sucks, so if you're looking to trade him, no, bitch. Next up, we have.
This isn't Peter's grade. This is Frank's grade.
This is Peter's grade.
This is Peter's team. But
you have a C minus, Petey, and it's Frank's fault. You got Dalvin Cook, who's coming off a knee surgery. I actually like Dalvin, but you got 3 quarterbacks. Frank didn't realize that you had a quarterback as a keeper and that you had Tyreek Hill as a keeper. So you have 3 quarterbacks, and then he drafted Sammy Watkins. So he had two of the top receivers. But I mean, this is also like you look before the trade and after the trade. He made a trade with me where he traded away Alex Collins and Tyreek Hill, and he got back Doug Baldwin and LaShawn McCoy. Upside wise, LaShawn McCoy and Tyreek Hill, not Tyreek Hill, and Doug Baldwin have higher upside than Alex Collins and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill can be top 5 wide receiver, but so can Doug Baldwin, especially with Russell Wilson. for Alex Collins and Shady can still be a top 5, top 6. I think a higher end RB1 because he will be the only one on that team, and he's done it before. While Alex Collins, I think he'll be good.
He also has Marshawn Lynch as well. People are saying Marshawn Lynch is gonna have a big year. So
What?
Is he?
For Peters?
Yeah. Petey?
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about like for Alex Collins, like how Alex Collins will do compared to like LaShawn McCoy.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's like before the trade, after trade. I think Peters still has like a decently solid squad. It's his first year, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to draft himself. But hopefully next year you will. But
Because he was gallivanting in Vegas.
gallivanting in Vegas. But now is like when you learn. You look at your roster, you see what positions you need or what you need better, and you start looking at who you like. You start making offers. There's a lot to learn, man. If you ever need help, questions, ask us. Like you already do. But I don't hate it. I actually like Dalvin Cook. He was someone that I'm high on and hope he does well.
He might split some time with Latavius Murray, but he'll probably get most of the time on the field. So
next up, we have Mikhail, drafted by Tibby. This one is also not a full draft by Mikhail, so it's hard to draft him. Even though he gave Tibby his draft list, I saw it, and everything. It looks like how Mikhail drafted because I saw Mikhail's other draft. We gave him a B. I think it's probably like a B plus. I really like Mikhail's draft. His team, he almost won last year, and then considering the fact that he didn't keep LaShawn McCoy because of the situation surrounding him, he still ended up with a very good team because he traded Josh Gordon and the 10th pick for the 4th pick or 5th pick, which he ended up picking Christian McCaffrey.
Who I'm really high on. I have him in almost like all my leagues.
Except
this one.
Yeah.
I'm really high on Christian McCaffrey. Even though he's a smaller back, he's still gonna get all those receiving yards he got last year, and he's gonna run more. So
yeah, I think he's gonna be good.
Things are looking up.
Yeah, I think that was so you look at how the trade ended up. It ended up being Josh Gordon and the 10th pick, which ended up being Larry Fitzgerald for Christian McCaffrey. So when you look at trades that way, you look at trading draft picks, you look at who's drafted or who could be drafted, and that's very nice. That's a very good trade for Mikhail. So also, like, when you look at it after the fact, drafting James Conner, knowing Le'Veon Bell's situation where he's not practicing, and it's paying off right now. So that could get him a couple early wins, and who knows? If you listen to fantasy footballers, you'll learn that you don't win the championship at your draft. You win everything after by pickups and trades and all that stuff. So, James Conner could be nice now, but it depends what he does later on. But I liked Mikhail's draft, or Tibby's draft. Mikhail, you should thank Tibby for drafting so well for you. If you see me burping a lot, we had about 10 tacos each.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
From Las Delicias. It has this jalapeno sauce. Oh, God.
Delicious.
It's so hot. I almost didn't want to do the podcast after. It's so good. Next up, we have Angel. And the way our notes are, it says A, B, C, D. And this is right now F. Angel. Grade C+. So it's throwing us off. Angel, what is up, dude? Bright spot. You have a nice wide receiver duo with Julio and Keenan Allen and Gronk. That's very nice, your kicker, you had Will Lutz stolen from underneath you. How could you let that happen during the draft? And the biggest thing, 0 first-string running backs. We should not give you a C+. You should get an F. You have no one. Let's do this real fast. Just real fast. No, right here. Your running backs: Deion Lewis, Tariq Cohen, C.J. Anderson, Duke Johnson, Matt Breida. None of those guys are starting. None of them. Maybe Matt Breida. I think Almo is starting.
Deion Lewis is probably going to get 60-40, but he's not starting.
But he's on the 40 side.
Yeah. He's on the lower side. Tariq Cohen is going to get those maybe those third down.
I think Tariq could be nice, especially if they try to use him out of the slot. But Like, I know this is your fault too, because in the other league that we're in, you didn't even realize it was 2 quarterbacks, and you drafted like your first quarterback in like the 10th round. Yeah, Angel, come on, man, you're getting better, but come on, man.
Your receivers are nice though. Julio
Yeah.
Jones, Keenan. I like Cooper Kupp a lot too. So.
Cooper Kupp is nice. I think Robbie Anderson's nice. You got him late too. But yeah, so
Damn, those running backs.
it's all right. I might try to send you something. All right. Up next, we have Josh Shaden. We gave him. I like his team, but we gave him a D-. Main reason, like, you have back-to-back early quarterbacks. I like both of them.
Yeah, those are nice QBs, but
like in the second round and then in the third round, you pick up Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson back-to-back. That's like too early. And we looked. You had 2 tight ends, but like Cook was auto drafted, so you don't get blamed for that. But like, you also like. Oh no, that's not you. That's Jordan. The wrong fucking notes. You have 2 defenses and 2 tight ends. That's what it is. And you didn't need 2 of each because you have Kelsey, who doesn't miss games and plays, and you have Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, those guys would have been enough. Like, drafting those, and you could have spent those picks on like the Seahawks defense. They're not going to be that good. They're going to suck because they don't have anybody other than Bobby Wagner, because Earl Thomas is not going to play for them. He wants to get traded to Dallas, which I know, Reg, you want. But Cameron Brate, I mean, he'll do well, I think, but OJ Howard's doing well too.
You could stream
after Kelsey for that 1 week.
sure.
You're not playing him. Your wide receivers, like your running backs are nice, Joe Mixon and Zeke. I think that's going to be good. But your wide receivers, like Hearns and D.D. Westbrook, they could be ones and they could be relevant in their offenses, but there's still question marks. And that's the only reason why you got the D. You got the D. Quarterbacks were too early, and 2 defenses, 2 tight ends. I mean, this is just us, and like the way you drafted is like not how we draft. So of course,
it is our opinion.
It is our opinion, and how if there were if there was somebody here that like believed you should like was a fan of like drafting your defenses and your like tight ends where you have your backup, they would support that. You would have a different grade, but it's just not how we play. I mean, I like the players, I like the teams you got, except for Seahawks, but yeah.
The early QBs was the biggest thing for us because you
Yeah.
got them in round 2 and round 3.
Back-to-back early rounds, there could have been other people that you could have got.
took another running back or a receiver that was still up in round 2, and probably Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson probably could have got back to you.
Yeah,
in round 3.
maybe in round like
Yeah,
6.
round 3, round 4, and 5. Any one of
No,
those rounds.
you got them round 2 and 3.
Yeah, I'm saying that if he took somebody at 2 that wasn't like Russell
Oh,
Wilson,
yeah.
he definitely would have been able to come back to you.
Yeah.
At least one of those QBs.
Okay. Next up, we have Jordan. We gave him a B+. Oh, so we said he drafted 2 tight ends. I'm like, yeah, I'm against, like, I don't care for tight ends. Like, if you don't get one of the top 3 or like top 5, it's like the rest of them you can kind of just stream. That's why I was like my tight end I have is just like a placeholder for now. Like, when in the next couple of days I'll look seriously into him versus whoever's in the waiver wire, and I'll decide. But he auto drafted Cook, but it was his last pick, so no blame. He picked up all his entire team that he wanted. It's a strong roster led by Gurley, and like my favorite pick was Cam Meredith in the 12th round. He like did really well for the Bears a couple years ago, and this year I think he can bounce back and play for Drew Brees and really like solidify himself as like a wide receiver 2 on that team, or their wide receiver 2, and he could be like a good flex play. And getting him the second to last round was very nice.
Yeah, he has a really strong starting like roster. I like Jimmy Graham a lot this year. With Aaron Rodgers, you never know. He probably put up 1,100 yards with like 10 touchdowns, receiving numbers. So he also has Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, Carlos Hyde is the second running back. It's a pretty good team.
Yeah. Carlos Hyde he had last year. Yeah. See, I remember. You remember? I remember.
Oh, he has Andrew Luck, who's back.
Oh, yeah. That was his keeper. Mm-hmm. Andrew Luck's nice. Next up, we have Josh D, who gets a C+. You could have gotten maybe a B. You know, because but then you drafted Justin Tucker twice, and you also got 2 tight ends, and you drafted Des Bryant, who's not even on a team, and then you draft my favorite part was when you drafted Diggs. I mean, Thielen.
Oh, Jordan, you do not know how mad he was.
Roll it back. Roll it back. Yeah. He's really mad that you got Diggs and you were auto drafted Diggs right before him. So every time you picked Jordan, he was pissed. He's like, bring it back. He auto drafted, even though it took you 70 seconds to make your pick. He thought you auto drafted. Josh is just a hater. Biggest thing with him, Alshon Jeffrey's out.
He needs some
couple games.
He needs some receiver depth, I guess, because he has Des Bryant, who is not on a team. Jeffrey is out for at least a week or 2.
Is that all he has?
And Tyler Lockett just got paid, but he's not that great.
Who are his starting? Oh, Thielen and Jones. I was looking at his bench and Robert Woods. You're not bad.
Yeah.
You need better depth. Could be worse. And up next we have Reggie, who we gave B minus. It was just lots of potential with rookies and second year players. Kamara, Hunt, and then who else did you get? Who else did he get?
Oh, let's look.
But yeah, a lot of young guys again too. I remember making that comment during the draft. You have a really young team.
Yeah, it was Penny,
Clement, Ross, Keelan Cole, Calvin Ridley, James Washington. I know, one of the things about Reg, he actually pays attention to college football too. So I know that he's a fan of the youngins coming in. But I mean, it worked out. It worked out for him last year. He did really well last year off his rookies' backs and everything. Yeah, good RBs with Hunt, Kamara, and Royce Freeman. That was the other one. But you don't have a true wide receiver 1. Amari Cooper is your number 1, but he's probably a wide receiver 2 in real life. Until he proves it. And Hogan could be nice, but
right now he's
you don't know.
Sitting around 2-3.
Yeah, and
he has Keelan Cole, who's the number 1 receiver on Jacksonville. We'll see how he does, but
this season long we'll see. I like it. Like I said, a lot of potential, and one of the big things that TJ couldn't even stop talking about was Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes is nice. He's gonna have a lot of turnovers this year. I mean, it's gonna happen because he throws it like a madman. He has, if you throw a Tyreek Hill every time, he's going to catch him, but sometimes he's going to miss. It's
going to be nice.
Yeah.
Because I have them. I hope Tyreek Hill catches more than he drops.
He's going to launch it down 60 yards. Tyreek Hill will be there.
Up next, we have Frank, who we gave an F for not fucking up his for not fucking up his draft, but for fucking up Peter's too. Frank, you have 0 Cowboys, but you have a Houston Texan on your team? Why? I'm going to tell everybody. You're a traitor. This is the first year you don't draft a fucking Dallas Cowboy. Well, what happened to Rico Gathers? I'm kidding. No, you have no solid, safe running back. But you do have a nice wide receiving core with Hilton, Fitzgerald, and Flash Gordon. All of those guys have the potential to be wide receiver 1s. Mm-hmm. And if the 0 running back draft theory or practice where you go wide receiver heavy for your first 4 picks or whatever, and then you draft the running backs you do draft in the end, or Duke Johnson, Corey Clement, Darren Sproles, are all pass catchers. So this especially works in PPR leagues, full PPR leagues is when it's usually used. Having that lineup is really good because you get a lot of people. Hilton and Fitz, they're going to catch tons of passes, nice yards, touchdowns are going to be whatever. But Josh Gordon, that's where the touchdowns come from. And you have those other running backs that just catch passes, it helps out. So it's not bad, but I guess you can get more safety from running backs.
Yeah, because you don't even know if Crowell's going to... If Montgomery's going to start the whole year. Or he's not even starting.
Yeah, he's not. He could. I think
he might be the 3rd string running back once Aaron Jones is back.
Jamal Williams be hurt by then. But yeah. George Kittle. That was one of the notes that we wrote down. he could be nice. He showed he had talent playing with Bethard and like Kittles and Betts. They actually went to college together, so I mean that could be why. But I know Kittle is a pretty good receiver.
Yeah, Kittle was really nice down like the last couple games with Jimmy G. So he can be nice, even though he's starting Greg Olsen right now. He has Kittle to be like his little safety blanket just in case Greg Olsen does go down with another injury.
Like that foot injury that he had. There's like a how many % chance that it gets re-injured. It's the same one Sammy Watkins had. These guys, they break that foot. Was it Liz Frank or something? It breaks, and then they have like a 50% chance that it breaks again, but it's usually the second surgery that fixes it. Like, I guess it has to break twice before. I don't know. Yeah. This is what I hear. I hear things. But yeah, so last but not least, we have Corey, and we gave him C for champ. But seriously, I actually liked his draft. It probably I just gave him a regular C, but it's probably C+, B-. You have nice wide receivers with Golden Tate and Devontae Adams, like high floors, decent ceilings. Devontae Adams has a high ceiling though, because your Aaron Rodgers #1. It's very nice. Who else?
Yeah,
Zach Ertz was a nice pickup.
Let me see.
James White. I don't know. Like Julian Edelman will really come in nicely too. Come in handy, especially when he comes back.
He kind of got screwed over with the McKinnon injury, but
McKinnon, that's why we wrote down Thompson could be nice, especially if he comes back healthy. You know, it really helps, especially after you lost McKinnon, and I know that really, like, especially as a keeper, like that's a wasted spot. It like you're down one draft pick at that point. Kenyon Drake was a nice pick. I mean, I personally would have rather have had Collins just because I think he's safer, but then Collins has a lower ceiling than Drake, because Drake went to Alabama or something. I don't know.
But Drake is nice.
He's talented. Just I don't know if you can really trust Miami.
And he has Frank Gore.
Yeah.
On his backside.
Miami's been like, even since like Lamar Miller was over there, they just never gave the ball to one player. It was like Lamar Miller, then they gave it away to a couple other people. Who's it? Damian Williams.
Yeah, and they don't even want to put Kenyon Drake as the #1 back. It's Kenyon Drake or Frank Gore. That's on the depth chart.
Yeah.
That's actually on the depth chart.
Yeah.
So.
But he has the talent. He's like physically, he's a spark score athlete, like a top one. He could end up being in like I don't think he's that as talented as like an RB, like a high end RB1, but low end RB1, like high RB2, I think is very realistic for him. But yeah, those are the grades. That's anything else? Any other notes you can think of? Last second, TJ.
Let's see. Not really. I think you just guys need to like look out for more traits. A lot of you guys are really high on one position specifically, but you guys are really low on like a running back. So you have like 2 #1 receivers, maybe. And then your running backs would be like 3s. You don't want 2 3s as your starting
balance.
Yeah, so you guys gotta find balance.
If you guys are looking for players, I got a lot.
His 5 bench players could start on any one of our teams.
Yeah, that's what happens when you suck the year before and you fucking suck ass. Yeah, it sucked last year.
So yeah, his 5 bench players could start on any one of our teams. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be carrying around 2 defenses. 2 tight ends. Depends on your team, I guess, but 2 defenses. You can change.
It doesn't matter. I can't tell everybody to do that because then I'll get like lower end players. The more defenses and stuff they pick up. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, like balance is cool. You play how you want, man. One of the biggest things, especially like I'll keep like quoting them, especially since now that I've told you guys about fantasy footballers. You don't understand. If you look at some of the older podcasts, I've done like very little like hinting at the fantasy footballers because I'm like, if they listen, then they'll know. Like if they listen, I called like Jack Doyle Baby Hands at one point, and that's one of his nicknames from the podcast. And like, I didn't want to tell you guys about him, but I ended up, and like I know like Angel was talking shit, saying he knows everything about me now. TJ was talking shit. Like Reggie was saying the same thing, like, oh, I know about your dudes now. I know about your dudes. So it's like, it's fun because I get to be open about it. Like I'm like, yeah, did you guys hear this episode and all this stuff? So it's cool. And you know, they keep saying, they always said like, tell your friends about us, but don't tell your league mates. Like that way you can like still win your hashtag Foot Clan Championship, but like they get more like listeners. So some like commissioners said like, you know, I told my league, or like some people said they told their league and everything, and their league became better players because of it. And you know, I like the competitive advantage because you know you have your own little secrets, but I think that their information and should be shared.
I think our league is a lot better this year than I think it will be. Than it has been. Like
I like. I think like having the keepers and moving to Flea Flicker. I like Flea Flicker so far. Mm-hmm. Having the keepers and then the draft. I think it really is like it's a big change. Sorry guys, these fucking tacos.
Yeah, it's a big change from doing in-person live drafts and doing it online. Yeah. Because online, we could do it from pretty much our phone. We could do it from laptop. Frank was on the East Coast, and he was drafting for 2 people. So
yeah.
That helped out a lot.
I said in the email. I said it in the other thing, the webpage, our homepage. That was the least amount of auto drafts that we've had. And it makes it easy because, like, we weren't auto drafting for Trey, who couldn't draft for himself because it's an offline draft that we were doing ourselves. You know, like with ESPN, we were using the offline draft that way because it was like only Manny could be online because everybody else was taking up the bandwidth. And then like as the one adding in the picks, it would lag and mess up. And now that it was on an online draft, like Frank for 2 people, Mikhail had Tibby help, Josh and Jordan, that's 5. Like everybody was able to draft remotely. Fred was able to draft remotely. So all these people were able to draft remotely and everything. So it really helped out. And not having a freaking physical draft board, I think that was nice. We didn't even have to use Clicky Draft.
Yeah.
So
it was our shortest draft.
It was our shortest draft.
And we've been in this league for
8 years. This is season 8.
Yeah. 8 years. Shortest draft.
Shortest draft. Especially it helped being 13 rounds. Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed it in draft. I hope you guys try to take advantage of Flea Flicker. Like find out like what you can do, what you can't. Let me know. Like really like text me your thoughts and everything. Because half the league or a little bit more is also in the Sleeper Bot or Sleeper app league, and they're another app that you guys should get because they do a lot of news blurbs like from Roto World and ESPN and everything. They're pretty fast about how they release it. They also, it's like a 2-man team that created it the same way like Flea Flicker has been created, but their mobile app is like really, really smooth and really nice. But the actual like fantasy football aspect of it, like their actual league program, is not as strong as Flea Flicker's yet.
It's still a work in progress. I think they just made it this year.
No, I think last year, the year before. I think the year before, 2016, was when they first came out with it. Mm-hmm. But in 2017, actually 2017, I think it's only 3 years old. 2017 was the first year, and they're literally like once a week, twice a week, they're doing updates. They just added where you can put your notifications. They're going to add, they're just throughout the year, they're just completely adding 1 thing, 2 things every week. And they're constantly working on it. Just like Flea Flicker, they're doing the same thing, but Flea Flicker's app is pretty much just their website. So it's like a stronger program and a weaker app, or a stronger app on the phone and a weaker actual like program. So hopefully it balances out. Like pay attention to how each of them act, because by the end of the year, I'm gonna ask, especially those who are in both leagues, how it feels and what you prefer. And if you have anything like on Sleeper app, especially on both of them, if you come up with an idea that you think like would make the app or make the website better, email them. Like email the support. So if they add it by next year, it will help our decision. Because if there's one thing on Sleeper that you wish they had that Flea Flicker has, tell them. And they emailed me. I told them, I was like, there's a guy that because I go on it and I talk to like random people because they post questions. They have different channels that like forums and everything, like Reddit pretty much. The Reddit channels on the app where you can talk to people and ask them about football, about fantasy football. Who do I start? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And people will randomly like add and what do you call this? Talk to you. And one guy, I had a conversation with him, and it ended up going to like my direct messages. Like he became a friend. Yeah, he became a friend. Stranger danger. He became a friend, and I was like, why? Because I liked one of his comments. It added him as a friend, and then it added me. Like I clicked on him because I tried to long click, or like long hold to like delete him, and it like started a chat with him, and now it's like on my phone. It's like, please say like it's system waiting to say hi, and then like it did it with Josh and did it with TJ because we added them as friends, and I'm like, I don't want these guys. I just want to delete them. I don't want to have direct messages with anybody. So like I emailed them and like, this is something we're working on. So just let them know things that you think they should fix and add. They're constantly coming up with things, and hopefully by the end we'll decide which one we prefer. The Sleeper app seems really smooth and everything. Some of the I like the app. Some of it's like.
Some of it takes a little getting used to. Like the trades, there was me and Manny were doing a trade. I rejected it, but it said on his that it was like accepted or whatever.
Yeah.
So it kind of confused us.
The way it shows like you go to like teams and transactions, and it shows like previous transactions, like trade offered by Manny, and then it shows like Manny receives these people or whatever and sends these people accepted, but only by Manny, and on the bottom it says rejected. And I realize it's because when you press the trade, you can like highlight who you want to trade with. So you can do like even bigger than 3-team trades. And then it'll tell you who accepted the trade and who declined it. So I think that's pretty cool. It just took some getting used to because I was like, it got accepted, but rejected. It was accepted by Manny, but rejected by this fucker.
Yeah, the 3-team trading, like the multiple team trading is pretty cool. So hopefully we can play with that sometime during the season. And see if we like that.
Go ahead, keep going.
And I think we are out.
No. I was gonna say.
No, but yeah. The Sleeper app is nice. It's just we'll see.
Yeah, it's like the biggest thing, like especially leaving ESPN and like Yahoo, they only do their changes like at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Like they'll shut down their system and they'll redo everything, and ESPN was supposed to overhaul it, but they never did. While like throughout the year, Sleeper and Flea Flicker, they're just adding changes.
Yeah, like right after our draft, Sleeper app like
updated. They're like, oh, we added this, and we fixed some bugs. So let us know. So like it's smart to let them know. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm glad because if we end up moving the Sleeper, they do have a league chat for those who know.
That league chat is super useful because we don't have to worry about group texting, group me. It's already there.
The thing I like about GroupMe though is that they have that meme creator. I've used it so much, guys. But you know what? If we move to Sleeper, you'll never have to see my stupid memes.
It's true. It's a win-win, guys.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's it for now. God damn it, I'm going to start doing these podcasts every week. I don't know if TJ will be here every week.
I'll probably be on it every week. We'll either do it like over the phone or...
Yeah,
like
we'll try doing phone.
But since we're getting a new camera, we'll probably
test it out. Maybe like in a week 2 or 3, we'll do like every quarter. So there's 13 weeks. So we'll do like every 3 games. TJ will come back. We'll do a quarter in review. Oh, that's something I should write down. I should write that down. Yeah, quarter in review, and then a playoff preview before like week 13 and everything. Yeah, that should be good.
And we'll probably do power rankings every week. Maybe.
Yeah, that we can like talk about. At very least, TJ can send me his grades, and then I can just like talk about it real quick, and I'll have like a post. I'll think of like an image for it or something, but. We'll discuss it. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed the grades. Hope you guys do like the division alignment. If you're in a hard division, it's maybe because you're the sucky one.
It actually makes it more fair for everybody.
No, it's actually
it gives everybody a chance.
Yeah. So like, yeah, we looked it over. It took us about like 15 minutes to decide who goes where and the division names. Those. I apologize. That's not my best work. But yeah, that's all we got for now.
Bye.
Watch where you're going, needle dick.